Have you been a gamer since you've been a wee little lad just like me? And if you're about the same age as me, one of those main games that come out in the mid 1990s was Pokemon. I lived and breathed Pokemon forever. I can seriously still remember myself playing red version on my green Game Boy as I was on a drive with my parents going in and out wherever I was going, and I would not resave over that game unless I got past a certain point. Now, today, Pokemon is still going. I've got young kids and they all know what Pokemon is. It has transcended generations and is still going super strong. But the thing that Pokemon is lacking is the aim towards adults. They are seriously still stuck in the kid ages and their game has not progressed much past where it was back in 1990. Obviously, yes, graphics did and a few other things, but the people don't even talk properly. It just comes up with words. Like, seriously, it's not that hard to get some voice actors. Yes, we got Arceus where they were in Overworld, but then they went back to the normal. I think they still need to progress a lot more. They're not going to in any time soon that I've seen. But today I bring you a game that I've been following and been heavily invested in for the last 2 to 3 years. It is called Illuvium. It is a creature capture style game that is definitely more aimed at adults and just has those AAA graphics and features that we've all been waiting for. Obviously, Power World come out earlier this year. It was a bit more of a flash in the pan, but did they not grip everyone's hearts? They gave us a game that we've been wanting and dreaming of since we were young guys and girls. Like, seriously, they were in the overworld. You could run around, you could catch them, you could put them, maybe you didn't want to put them to work, but there was a whole world out there that you could explore. You get through, you get bigger, you catch them, you level them up, you do everything. You're immersed in the world. Yeah, the graphics weren't that good. Yeah, the story was pretty much non-existent. Yeah, it seemed like it pretty much ripped off all of Pokemon. Who cares? A fun game is a fun game, and this is what we've been asking for millennia. The game we're going to be looking at, as I just said, is called Illuvium. There's 3 main games that are coming out very, very soon. We've been playing beta for the last 2 or 3 years in different iterations, and it has just definitely evolved and evolved and evolved. But we are getting to one of the final pieces of the puzzle. We're coming into a testing phase of the beta, which is going to last about 2 months. If you do like what you see today and you want a chance to get into the first session of that beta, there's only 10,000 people, but I have a link down below that one lucky person that uses that link to register will get access in 4 days from this video. 4 days from this video. So close. Everyone else will get access at the end of the month and the 28th of May, I believe it is. But if you want to get in there earlier, by golly gosh, use that button. Go and register. If you do not get access or you want to go and play the game as it is in its state right now, you can go over to the Epic Game Store, which I'll leave a link in the description below as well. And you can download a beta version there. But this new version is going to update some massive features and really take this game to the next level. They're implementing a few things that are going to change the way that we look at this whole game. Yeah, it's really good now, but it feels very empty. This is going to fix a lot of those problems, and I'm going to go through a couple of these key updates that are going to go through now. So I'm going to tell you about what is coming in these games rather than the updates first, because you obviously need to know about the game before I tell you what's getting updated, because you don't know what's there now. So let's get into that. So at release, there is 3 games that they are going to be dropping. One of them may be delayed a month or 2, but we'll get into that a bit later. The first and major game that I'm really excited for, the one that I'll probably play the most, is the Overworld. It's definitely down the alley of the games we've been talking about, Power World and Pokemon. You go out into a region, there's 7 regions, you go out and you catch your characters, which are called Illuvials, and at the moment they are not in-game. All you see is an orb floating around, you shoot that orb in the right spot, and you can go into an instance to go and try and catch them. But this major update that's coming out now is putting the Illuvials in the overworld, so they are going to be running around, and I'll show you some of these visuals behind because it looks bloody amazing. So with this game, you go out, you catch the Illuvials. There's 7 regions, as I said, but you start with 3 and they get unlocked over time. They won't all be there because once you see the size of these regions, you go, wow, there is so much to go and explore in these regions that you probably don't need all of them just yet. So that's game number 1, where you go and catch those creatures and just build your team. Game number 2 is the arena, where you go and battle the creatures. It is going to be more like Teamfight Tactics. It's going to be that auto-battler, auto-chess style of game. There's going to be multiple game modes within this game. At the moment, it is got like 0 to minimal RNG within it, so it's very hard for a very casual player to get in and just play, because there's people that are seriously min-maxing their like movements and placings within the battle, that it makes it pretty much impossible if you don't look at the game a lot. But they have seen this issue and they're bringing in a more casual game mode that is going to be more focused to the people that don't have the time to put in to get really good at the arena, which I absolutely love. And the best thing about Illuvium Labs and the team that are building this game is they actually listen to the community. The community said, look, this arena's too hard. You spend an hour building a team, 2 hours building a team to get into a game, you lose within 10 minutes and you go back to the drawing board and you don't even know why you lost. Or you get absolutely flogged and you get nothing out of that. It's not fun. You spent 2 hours building a team to play for 10 minutes to get absolutely flogged. They've seen this, they've countered it, they're bringing new game mode, cannot wait for that to happen. But that is the second game, that is the arena. There's going to be ranked, they're going to try and go down esports and do full big tournaments. There's already some tournaments going on right now, even in its beta stage. These are just community run tournaments, but they're tournaments nonetheless. So there is a very, very big community around this game already. So going on to game 3, and this is the one that's going to probably be delayed for a little bit because they put more effort into the first two because they're probably going to be the most commonly played ones. The last one is more of a city builder, more like a Sims kind of just build your city. You use this city that you build to refine some resources, mine some materials and stuff like that. There's no big PvP element to this just yet. They may go down that avenue, but we don't know just yet. At the moment, it is just kind of a city builder and somewhere where you go and build up your land and mine for fuel and resources that you take into the other games. That's right, I haven't even touched on this yet. But all 3 games are interoperable. If you haven't heard that word before, it means that this game can take things into the other game, can take things into the other game. So it's more of like a universe rather than 3 separate games. So the overworld, okay, you go out and catch the creatures, as I said, you level them up, you fuse them together. If you get 3 of the same one, you take it to the next stage, and then you take it to the third stage. Most alluvials have 3 stages, take 3 to go up into the next one, 3 to the next one to go to the next one. If that makes any sense. So once you've gone into the overworld, caught over your characters, built your team, crafted some weapons, and then you take those alluvials and you take them over into the arena. And those alluvials are the ones that you use to battle in the arena. It's not a random team that you get given in the arena. You're going into the overworld to build your team to then take into the arena to fight your opponents. Kind of like your Pokemon leagues and like where people actually build their team. That is what's going to be happening here. So once you've built your team, you go into the arena, you battle up, you take your ranks, you go against some people for fun or for keeps or ranked or whatever. Then Illuvium Zero is kind of on the side over here where you also get materials from the overworld and a few other things from there. You may win some resources in the arena and then you take those back into Illuvium Zero where you can craft your weapons, you can craft blueprints and skins and a few other things to take back into the overworld and to arena to build on your team and just really min-max your whole account. Also within this ecosystem, there is going to be buying and selling of alluvials and weapons and pretty much anything in game, anything that you get materials-wise, resource-wise, you will be able to put onto the market for someone else to buy off you or you can buy off someone else. So it's going to be more like a CSGO kind of thing where you get a weapon that you don't actually want or an alluvial you don't actually want or need, you can put it out there for someone else who may need that alluvial really badly, and then instead of going out and looking for it, they can just purchase it off you. You can trade it to them for some other alluvial. I really love this. It just gives more power to the people. I really believe that this marketplace is going to be a game changer because there's people that are just going to want to play arena and don't want to go into the overworld. So there's people that will play overworld, get all these alluvials that they don't even care about, put it on a marketplace. People from the arena can just buy it off them and just go and play without having to do a game they don't want to do. I know it sounds weird that it's more than one game and you could just have it as one game and you go into the different spots, but it makes sense in time, okay? As I said, there's 3 games, but here it is. Here's the big kicker. If this goes all well, obviously it needs to go well, but they've got lots of levers to pull on, but if this goes well, they want to build out a suite of about 9 games, they have said. Think about, you could have a kart racer, kind of like Mario Kart. You take the alluvials into there, and the alluvial stats are what the kart gives to you. Or you could make an FPS, a first-person shooter, where the alluvials will be the type of gun you have and the armor that you have. You're just taking those alluvials you're catching in the overworld, taking them into every other game, building your whole suite of games and making this just like a huge universe. As I said, it's not just a Pokemon game. It's not just a battling game. It's not just a city builder game. It's a whole universe that they're trying to build here, and this is the first of 3 games. I know this is a lot to wrap your head around right now at the first instance if you haven't heard about Illuvium before, but the future is super bright, and as I said, there's a link down below in the description if you want to try and get into testnet, or there's another link if you just want to go and play on Epic Games and see what it's like. That's down there as well. Go in, have a play. I've tried to show you as many visuals as possible behind me, just to show you what the graphics are like and how good that this game is going to look. And just take it from me, it's going to be fun, it's going to be a game changer, and it's just going to be one of the funnest games I've ever played. Hopefully this interests you and you go and click on that link and just go and have some fun.